Greetings to all of you beautiful, curious people out there. Thanks for coming back to my channel, and today I've decided to make a video like old schoolish, like I used to do all the time, vlog kind of style videos, not just me sit down in front of lights and just in my room. Today we are at my new office, same job, different office. And this coffee, I might admit, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty okay for the cheapy crap it is. But maybe that's just because I'm not a coffee perfectionist expert, because I'm not a coffee person at all. And before I moved here in Moscow, I had coffee maybe 2 times in a year max, and it hits me so badly. But whatever, let's talk about some important things, okay? Before I'm gonna go and do my work, I have a few minutes to spare, so I want to start this video with some philosophical thoughts, maybe, not really. Recently I'm hearing it here and there, the idea that talent does not exist, and I just want to talk to you about it. And probably we touched this topic slightly in my previous vlogs, but I don't know, I think it's interesting. It's still interesting, and to see other people's opinions on that, yeah, quite curious, I might say. Millennials and somebody who was born after year 2000, you can often hear that they can say like, oh, I have no talent, I don't want to pursue anything because I'm not good at it. And elders like moi usually would respond like, talent does not exist, it's just repeating over and over again something you want to be good at. And yes and no. If you have no talent, for example, in singing, you can practice and do some, you know, singing voices exercises, but you would be never as good as Beyonce, who has natural talent. It's kind of a tricky thing. You have to see the line. I might admit that in most professions, I'm saying professions because, again, I think these days professions are really spread between different areas. There are so many new things you can do, and you just can make up your own profession. Obviously, like this influencer stuff, YouTuber, Instagrammer, TikToker, I don't know, handmade doer or whatever. So yeah, you can just woke up one day and say, well, I'm gonna do that, and that's gonna be my profession. Boom. Yeah. For example, me learning English, and I know why a lot of people can be pissed. It's not something you like have like a present from heaven or whatever, like universe. You just did something to get there. So I've learned English watching YouTube, and that's happened gradually. Nobody gave it to me like, please use it. It was just my, I don't know, individual desire to understand it, and I never even wanted to talk in English. I think gradually get there because I was into this culture of English-speaking people for a long period of time. I know that naturally I have some sort of not talent, but something inside me that makes me good with languages. For example, I haven't read a lot of books in my life. I haven't started Russian language in school and university pretty good. I don't know, I have just this natural feeling of what sounds good and what not. So at Russian language grammar, I'm always like using it almost intuitively, and I think that because of that it was easier for me to learn English totally without books, just by watching YouTubes and other people, YouTube TV shows and other stuff. So other people just hearing that, they always like, what? Because this is just my specifics, but somebody else just using the books and consistency would get the same amount of knowledge that I've had, and even, you know, go above it. But just because they naturally, for example, good at making something consistently every single day, or they like see small details so they remember that. So, you know, you can get the same result with a different kind of talents that will help you eventually, you know. I've had natural talent, but it's not like the talent of learn language like that. It was just some things that helped me, because I've tried to do that with books. Don't get me wrong, I spent the whole summer when I was in school, in high school, just learning English by the book every single day for a few hours, and it gets me nowhere. I guess I've had a stream on this channel. I would put the link like right here, so if you want to hear the full story, how the hell did I learn English and how it's almost ridiculous that I've tried to learn it since I was a little girl, like 4 years old, and I got there only when I just let it go and just worked with the flow of internet, whatever. But it doesn't mean that it was just gifted to me. Another person with another talent could get there if they were consistent. Don't get me wrong, if that wasn't the fact that I watched YouTube for 5-7 hours straight every single day after university, I wouldn't be there where I am right now, or there where I was like 5 years ago, because the consistency and the desire to improve and be interested in it is the key, and no magic, just doing stuff and trying to convince myself that if I want to do something, I need to do that. Sometimes desires are just not real, and you stop doing something because it's not your desire. That's how you realize what you really want to do. So if somebody tells you you need to learn something, and you gradually start, and you kind of start to think that it's your desire, you start doing it, and after a few weeks you let it go, well, maybe it wasn't yours in the first place, Also, one thing that I want to mention is that I don't think that it should stop you when you think that you have to learn something just by book, because again, nowadays all those webinars, all those sources where you can see tutorials and hear some podcast lectures, whatever, it gives you so much opportunities to learn so many things. I'm so grateful that I was born in this digital age, that I have the access to those kind of things. I don't know how people lived without it previously, because if I want to learn astrology, there's YouTube videos right here. If I want to learn how to draw watercolors, there's some sort of site like Skillshare, no promotion, but you know what I'm talking about, There's so many things, even Wikipedia, obviously, you can learn anything. And I've got offended when somebody told me at a job interview one time that they needed a good English, and they even didn't test me. By the way, hi from Marina from Future, who editing this right now, and oh my god, the presence of a light ring being here all the time is really easy to make that kind of interruptions. So what I wanted to say is that the job requirements wasn't connected to linguistic at all, so I would understand if there was like a professional translator or something job, but it wasn't. It was slightly connected with English, so maybe in the future, in perspective, I would have to write some Instagram short descriptions. But again, they could just test me, and most of the time I would need English to understand something, not to talk to somebody or express my thoughts. So I was really confused. It was really conservative and not really understandable for me. And like, hello, it's 2020. Well, that was 2019, but whatever. In Moscow, and I'm confused. Really, the fact that I was self-taught, it was like deal breaker, and they was like, but maybe you maybe open some books, and maybe some basic stuff, and so maybe any books involved. And I was like, no, just talking with natural flow, and again, almost intuitively, because those kind of sentences forms I have, and I'm just putting different verbs and like words in general in those kind of system, and that's how it works. I don't think that I can teach it to somebody else, but I can make some exercises that make it better for others, and that's what I've done when I worked in a creative center. But they were so turned off by the fact that I was self-taught, they just sent me off and said, no, we're glad to have you, but no. And going home, I was thinking about it, why it's so important, and it really, get me sad, because even though this company was really, modern and stuff, still they want to see some degrees and some, real studies and some real books you learn from. And the thought that kind of gave me some type of relief, it was the fact that we all, in every single thing that we do, are self-taught. Just think about it for a moment. Also, by the way, I've seen Nikki tutorials that have done it, so what should I think if we include a Russian word of the video kind of thing? So I will teach you one Russian word in all of vlogs and future videos on this channel. So maybe today's word might be office, but actually in Russian it's called office as well. The obvious elephant in the room in all of the space is boxes, and in Russian it's called коробка. Yeah, this particular carton board is картонная коробка, but I think it's too much, so yeah, box, коробка. And also I know that for some Frisians, sound R is really hard, but if you would say like коробка, nobody would understand you, so you can try and like do this kind of motion of your tongue inside of your mouth, so it would be rrr, rrr. So my tongue is vibrating pretty fast, so I can make this noise. Коробка, коробка, коробка. Well, when you write it down, it's коробка, but when you pronounce it, it's коробка with p sound more like. So коробка. What does it actually mean, self-taught? It means you put an effort to learn something. And if you think about it, even math in school, even some geometry or geography or whatever, chemistry, physics, whatever, everything that you learn is just because you've tried to, not because somebody again just gave it to you. And yeah, books have rules and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that you have no opportunities to learn something just from other people who said about it, about the thing you're interested, some stuff, again, webinars, online streams, lectures, whatever. Does it really matter? Isn't it weird and bizarre? Right now, my work mostly is to do videos, edit them, and make some video reviews and do some basic designer stuff. And yeah, I've had a designer degree, but diploma doesn't mean anything. Everything that I'm doing right now is based on the knowledge that I've got from internet. Irony, really. Like, I've learned how to edit videos just because I wanted to, not because I went to some school or whatever. Everything here is here online. And I remember, like, back in the days, my parents were kind of concerned because, like, what are you doing? It's kind of weird. It's kind of like, no, why do you want to do that? Don't put yourself on the internet. Other people will be judging you all jealous or whatever. And again, it just was mind-blowing for older generation. But now, when it's my job, my mom watching every single videos of mine, and she's like, I like that, no, yeah, and she's like reviewing all of my videos. And the fact that I can talk to camera is not because it happens because I visited some course. For me, again, for my personal preference and my kind of talent, I like to learn things easily with just interest and just like a game like. So since I was 5 years old, I looked in the mirror and I talked to myself like I was, this TV the person who sells something, and it was my passion. Until this day, I really enjoy to talk into camera, pretending that there's a ton of people behind the scenes, behind the curtains, behind the screen, and just feel that enjoyment in front of the camera, talking about the things I love, about the things I'm passionate about. So I think that maybe this video will be inspirational for you and will be kind of a reminder, a small reminder for myself, because periodically I have some doubts in myself, and again, imposter syndrome, it just hits me and I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know anything, I can't do anything, I'm nobody. But actually, you do. You do stuff, and you know how to do that, and the fact that you don't have a degree doesn't mean that you can't. And I don't want the social media to discourage you that people who are doing some stuff good, that they were just given with natural, some kind of magic. Because the quote that I've heard a few months ago that I liked, and I don't know how to translate it properly, but it was like, don't compare your beginning to somebody's finish or somebody's middle thing, whatever. So they all started somewhere. Again, if you're comparing yourself to influencers from nowadays, you can look at their videos 10 years later, and yeah, technologies were different and whatever, but the way that they act in front of the camera, the way they talked and stuff like that. So yeah, it just doesn't matter. If you want to do something, just do it. So I'm gonna drink the rest of this coffee and really gotta go. It's kind of hideous. How long can I speak in front of the camera if nobody stops me? And I think I'm gonna finish this video here because it's not really a vlog. I wanted to make a vlog, but again, talking head in a frame. But yeah, we got what we got. I still hope you enjoyed this small sneak peek of our new office, and let me know what you guys think about talent, about the causes of imposter syndrome, about consistency, about self-taught stuff. I'm as usual just knotting my tongue out. Naughty sounds like naughty, but I mean not. Whatever, I just gotta go. This is morning and I haven't finished this coffee. It's not an excuse, but it sounds like it, right? Okay, gotta go, and thanks for hanging out. Leave a comment and see you guys in my next video. Bye!